I knew somebody was there. I love how we like all like turn on our camera. It's like we came out.
Oh, I need to see where Madeline is.
All right.
Hey, Becky. I see you made it. Oh my gosh. Nick likes my hair parted down the middle. So for our anniversary dinner, I was like, okay, I'll part it down the middle. But it's so annoying.
I like it.
If I try parting my hair down the middle, I look like a teenage boy that definitely needs a haircut. My hairdresser was like, no, you're just not doing it right. Then she did it and she was like, yeah, you really shouldn't do that.
That's funny. I mean, at least my hair's clean. Like, that's a plus.
All right, let's give it one more minute. Oh yeah, you look great, girl. Thanks. So kind of Nick to share you tonight.
Yes. I'm just putting off the inevitable. What's going to happen later? Just being honest.
All right. Let's see.
Valentine's Day and anniversary so close together. That's a lot of work.
You know, it's almost like Valentine's Day isn't even like a thing for us. Like, the boys gave Nick a card, but it's like we just overlook it because we know our anniversary is 5 days later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. I guess let's try to go ahead and get started. If you guys think we're ready, Morgan, Kate, Madeline, you want to go ahead and get started? Since we said we'd start right at 8:30 and I just sent some reminder messages, but we are recording. So this is going to be something that you will be able to take another look at and kind of dive in a little bit deeper or just get refresh your memory. The coach who has put you in here will definitely send you that link if you would like to see it. So welcome. Thank you for joining us for our coach informational webinar or live call tonight. We are really excited to share with you a little bit about our stories, where we are in our journey, and where we are as coaches and what has brought us to this coach opportunity. So you're going to be hearing from myself, Morgan Greb, Caitlin Stevens, and then Madeline Stansberry tonight. We are actually on two different teams, but together we are Team Beachbody. And I think that's what's really cool about our company is we are a group of, right here tonight, we're a group of women, but in general, we are a group of people who come together to really focus on walking our own journey, working on our health, our wellness, our happiness, and then sharing it with others. And I posted a quote today about, a flower doesn't look at the other flower and compete with it. It just blooms. And I think that speaks very highly to where we are today. We are two teams, but together we are Team Beachbody. And there is room for each of us to be successful, each of us to be healthy and happy and prosperous in this business. And so it is one of my biggest joys is working with Morgan and her team to really collaborate on how we can help even more people, because that is the really cool thing about coaching. It is rooted first and foremost in your journey. It is about you getting healthy, you getting on track with your fitness, you being on track with your nutrition and feeling great, and then sharing it with other people. And that's where the magic really happens. So we're very excited for you to join us. We know that when you think about coaching, maybe you've been curious, maybe you've been peeking, in on social media, or you've been in a challenge group of ours before, and you've wondered, oh gosh, what is coaching all about? But you have these little pesky hesitations that are in the back of your mind. We want you to know, we hear you, we feel you, we were you. And we are going to share with you our story and kind of our number one hesitation or limiting belief we have, and how we've really worked through that and come out on the other side and found a lot of success and community and happiness in coaching. So again, welcome, and let's just dive in. I'm actually going to talk to you a little bit first tonight. Again, my name is Krista Hunt. I have been a Beachbody coach for, it'll be 4 years in August, so I guess 3.5 years. I started my journey as a challenger in June of 2015. I was a new mom. My son, Eli, was 4 months old. And that was kind of the tipping point for me. And I can say that it was then that I was, unhappy with my postpartum body, and I didn't recognize, the woman I had become. And that is true. However, for me, it really started a lot earlier than that. I can remember being a 13-year-old laying on my mom's bed with my head in her lap, and as horrible as it sounds, and it even gets me choked up talking about it, I remember putting my head in her lap and saying, like, oh my gosh, it's almost summer, it's swimsuit season, and I don't want to put on a swimsuit. 13 years old. And so, yes, I started as a postpartum mom, but my insecurities really started a lot earlier than that. And so I began as a challenger when he was 4 months old. I'm a wife. I've been married for 5.5 years. Eli, the one I spoke about, he is now going to be 4 on Friday, and Emma is 2. I am a full-time school counselor and a part-time Beachbody coach. So something that I'm really passionate about is sharing how you can really create a successful coach business and help a lot of people when you don't have a lot of time. Again, I started when Eli was 4 months old. I worked, the school hours. I was gone from 7 to 3:30, 7 to 4, and my husband worked second shift. So we were passing each other in the door, passing off our son. And I knew in that moment that something had to change, and it had to start with me because we weren't seeing each other. We didn't have family around. I knew deep down I wasn't as happy as I truly could be, but I needed to get right in my mind. And that started with fitness. Fitness is more than just a physical transformation for me. You guys, my mind needed to get right. And it was this community, it was these programs that helped me do that. And I'm talking within like days of joining my first challenge group, days, I saw such a difference in my mindset. And I think you'll hear probably from a lot of the coaches on this call that was very similar. I knew that this was something that I wanted to share with others. And so, but again, I thought, how am I going to fit this into my day? What I didn't realize, and my coach, because I have a coach too, we all have coaches, what my coach helped me realize is by staying on track with my journey, working on my mind through personal development, and then naturally sharing that with my coworkers who were seeing my transformation because they were like, dang girl, what are you doing? I was already being a coach. And so in my mind, I thought being a coach, you had to create this whole additional, 3 hours in the day that we all know that we don't have. But I was already doing it so naturally. I was working on myself. I was sharing it with others, and they were asking to join me. At first I was like, oh yeah, let me introduce you to my coach. But then I thought, well, wait a second, I can do this too. And so I became a coach within not even 60 days of joining my first challenge group. And at that point, I remember I started my own first challenge group when the first day I went back to school in August. And so talk about not having any time. I had zero time, but what I had was a team and a community that I didn't have to run this business on my own. There are no requirements to be a coach. There's no sales minimums that you have to meet each month. You truly are your own CEO and your own boss, but you have this whole team railing around you and helping you. And so I run these challenge groups together with my team so that it doesn't all fall on my shoulders. And so that helps alleviate some of that pressure of how am I going to fit this all in. And I share my story on social media, just like you probably share your story and you're not even realizing it. So that wasn't anything extra. And then I started to realize that the daily business activities that I needed to do, like inviting people to join me and forming and reconnecting with old friends, that could happen whether or not it was after Eli went to bed for an hour or throughout the cracks of my day. And that's what our team helps you do, is we realize that there's these systems in place. And so my coach printed off this business tracker for me, and she said, if you break it down like this throughout the day, you're going to find that you can build a business in about an hour a day. And you guys, when I first started, I was really busy. So sometimes that was 30 minutes. Other times that was an hour. 3.5 years into it, it looks a little bit different and like a little bit more time. But that's all it took. Again, it was working on myself, sharing my story, talking to my friends and family that I saw every day anyways, and inviting others to join me in the cracks of my day, using the systems that our company and our teams have already put in place for you. Your tribe, your team, your upline coach is going to help you learn how to make it fit into your life. Because just like these workouts and the nutrition programs are not diets and they're not quick fixes, they are lifestyle changes. This is something that's supposed to fit into your lifestyle as well. And we are here to support you and help you do that, because we understand that your time is important to you. And we understand that that is a very common hesitation, because none of us have extra time in the day. I'm not one to say like, okay, so how often do you scroll through Facebook? But it's true, right? Like, you're scrolling through Facebook anyways. You're already doing it. You're already connecting with people on there. So it was a little bit of, making some sacrifices. Maybe I didn't watch as much TV, but I did that. But then I did that 4 nights a week. But then on Monday night, when Monday night came around, I could watch The Bachelor. So I didn't give away all of my favorite pastimes or, have to make all of these huge sacrifices. But I did learn how I could fit it into my day, whether or not it was 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, or 20 minutes at night, or maybe it was just an hour after my son went to bed. Being very intentional about what I was doing and reaching out to my team and asking for help and having them support me. Again, I am almost 4 years into this, and I can tell you that I was the queen of quick fixes. Give me a diet pill, tell me to cut all carbs and only eat chicken wings and bacon, and that's what I did. And then I would jump off ship, you know, after a week or two of not seeing results, and then that cycle would continue. I didn't see any changes physically, and I saw even less changes mentally. And I tell you, I get chills thinking about it. I am here 3.5 years later in the best shape of my life after 2 kids, both physically and mentally, because of the coach opportunity. When you figure out why you're here and what you want to do for yourself, for your family, with this business, you find the time. You find it. You figure out how you're going to do it, because when your why is that big, you will make that time. It's like all of a sudden you do have an extra hour in your day because you're just that excited to get in those business activities. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I am going to pass it over to Kate. Kate is somebody who I just love working with. She's got a huge heart and she leads with a whole lot of passion, and I'm really excited for you to hear what she has to say. Go ahead, Kate.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I'm Kate Stevens. I am not directly under Krista. I'm one below her. But I joined this team. I'm actually coming up on my 1-year anniversary next week, I think it is. I think it's March 2nd, so a week and a half. I originally started 3 years ago, just with a challenge pack with a totally different team, just as a challenger. And I didn't have that camaraderie or that team that I needed for the support, because that's what I was looking for when I first signed up. I just wanted to get in shape. I was a new mom. My little guy was just over 6 months old, and I was struggling to find myself. I was miserable, unhappy. My husband and I were fighting all the time. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And I was like living through the moments, like not enjoying it. And I was a new mom, which is what I've always wanted to be. So I just didn't understand it. So I knew I needed to put my foot down and make a change for myself so that I could be the best mom I could be for my little guy. So I started one day, and my coach reached out to me and had said, you should join our accountability group. So I said, okay, tell me more. So she did, and we talked all night long. I literally signed up that night as a challenger. I did sign up as a challenger and a discount coach because I wanted to save as much money as possible. So I joined the group, and I'm going to say, like Chris has said too, like right away, you like feel like maybe this is something I can do. My biggest struggle was judgment, because my entire life I have struggled with wanting to fit in, wondering what everyone thinks of me. Like I was the girl in high school who let people walk all over me because I just wanted to fit in. I didn't want people to judge me, so I was just going to do what everybody else was doing. I was a follower. So I had talked to my coach about, what do I need to do to be a coach? Can you help me with all the steps? And she's like, well, all you have to do is share your story. You're doing all the other things. Like you're working on your journey. This is just going to help you. So you just have to share your story. But my hesitation was, what is everyone going to think if I start sharing this? Not to mention, I am painfully shy, which this has also helped. So I was like, I can't post on social media every day. I can't share my stories on Instagram. Like I can't do that kind of stuff because I'm afraid people are literally going to laugh in my face. But I knew that I needed this for me and for my family. And I feel like stepping outside my comfort zone and becoming a coach was what was going to hold me accountable the most. So maybe I started off with this as kind of being a little selfish, because I was like, this is what's going to help me the most. This is going to hold me accountable the most. Because if I have to show up for other people, I obviously have to show up for myself. So I slowly started to push into this. I don't think I didn't do the stories right away. I was just like, I'll do a post here and there on social media. I'll see how it goes. And honestly, after like a month of doing it, I think I just kind of let those fears go away because I was like, this is making me feel good. And I'm having people reach out to me asking me for help. And that was like boosting my self-esteem, just that somebody wanted my help. I was like, if I need the help, how can I help others? But they were reaching out because they were seeing my results. They were seeing my confidence shine. I was actually just talking to my husband before I came downstairs, and I was like, I'm coming up on my 1 year. Did you ever think that would happen? And he was like, do you want me to be honest? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I didn't, because I've always been somebody who starts things super, super excited and then quits. He's like, but I knew once you started, you were seeing results, you were growing friendships, you were building your confidence up, and I figured you were going to stick with it, because he's like, within a month, it totally changed who you were. So like I said, judgment was like my biggest thing, and I really think I've overcome this. Even if people were to say something now, I don't think I'd even, like, it would just like blow right by me, because I know that I'm doing this for me, and this is what's making me feel good, and I'm helping others get past that lowness that I felt, and that makes me feel good. So if other people want to judge me, I'm going to let them judge me, because they're the people that actually need the help the most. They're just not ready to admit it yet. I know I'll be hearing from them sometime down the road. But like I said, and this year we were all asked to pick a word on our team, and my word has been fearless. So I am pushing aside every single fear that I have. One being talking to all of you. Public speaking's not my thing. But I'm just not letting those fears hold me back anymore, because this is what makes me happy. This is what has literally changed my life. I am now in my second pregnancy, almost 33 weeks, still enjoying this, still loving this, still having people come up and tell me every day how confident I look, how great I look, especially in my pregnancy. And I'm able to turn around and say how great I feel. I don't, like, yes, I'm excited about that. I've seen this transformation, but becoming a coach has, like I said, it's changed my life in so many ways. So to be able to push past all those fears and help people while I'm helping myself has just made it 100% worth it. So I could ramble on about all the other objections, because I had all of those too, but I won't. So I'm going to pass it over to Madeline and let her share her story with you guys.
Hey guys, my name's Madeline, and I am under Morgan. I have been with Beachbody since October, and I joined as a discount coach to begin with. And so I'm younger. I'm 23 years old, so let's start with that. So I'm a little younger than a lot of the people that I encounter with Beachbody, but since high school, I've struggled a lot with depression, and I really just didn't deal with things, and I kind of just didn't, I was medicating and taking the highest dose because I just didn't want to deal with it. I was just going to take the medicine that would fix my problems, and I wasn't going to deal with it. And when I started Beachbody and started doing personal development and actually taking the time to take care of myself, that was the first time that I actually dealt with the things I had going on and actually faced what I was dealing with. And now I'm completely off medication and I'm doing great. And just Beachbody and personal development and all that, and just taking the time to take care of me has really made such a big impact in my life. And I'm so much stronger for it. And it's wonderful. So I love that about Beachbody, and that's something that comes with the coaching is, you get personal development and things like that. But so when I signed up as a discount coach, my thing was I can't inspire anyone. I have a hard time inspiring myself. So how am I going to inspire someone else? So when Morgan talked to me about it, I was like, I'll post pictures on Instagram and, post my workouts on Instagram, but I'm not going to reach out to anyone because no one wants to hear from me. And then one day someone commented on my pictures or responded to my story, and they were like, wow, you really have inspired me to start working out again. And can you tell me about what you're doing? And I was like, me? Me, I'm inspiring you. It was so weird to think. And then I had someone pull me aside and be like, yeah, it's really great seeing you do that. Can you tell me more about your workouts? Because now I want to do it because you're doing it. And I was just like, I'm just doing my workouts. I didn't think I was doing anything special. So that's something that, like, we set those limits for ourselves. We decide that we can't do something. And I had decided that I wasn't going to be able to inspire anyone. And then I was kind of taken aback when I found out that the only reason I wasn't able to inspire anyone is because I told myself I wasn't. It was happening the whole time. And that's something that you have to remember, is that there are going to be all these things that will prevent you from doing this. You can think of 100 reasons why you don't want to do this or why you couldn't do this, but you're just coming up with those reasons. No one's telling you that. You're saying it to yourself. And let me tell you, I have a friend who watched me do the workouts, told me she was never going to work out, but finally she said, yeah, I'll give Transform 28 a try. And it was the most satisfying and wonderful thing when I got a text from her one night saying, I cannot wait to work out tomorrow. Like, that's what we do. We want to show people that this is a lifestyle change. This is sustainable. This is something that, like, you don't have to be scared of working out. And that's what's so awesome about coaching, is you're selling a lifestyle. You're showing them that they can do this. So, like, you can inspire, and you're inspiring just by taking care of you. It's kind of really wonderful. And I listened to something, or I was reading a book the other day, and it's by Rachel Hollis, and something that applies to this is she talks about if a caterpillar decides to stay a caterpillar, they never become a butterfly, and we never know what could happen. So if you tell yourself that you can't inspire other people, you're never going to see the potential of what you can do, and really it hurts other people that you're not even taking advantage of that ability to inspire them. You have to do that. You have to put yourself out there, because in the end, it's not only helping you, but you could really make a difference in someone else's life. So yeah, sorry, I was everywhere, but now off to Morgan.
You weren't everywhere. That was awesome. Okay, so hi, I'm Morgan. It's so good to be here with all of you and just share my story. It's always exciting to, like, take it back to the beginning, because, like Krista, I've been here a while, and it's just, like, refreshing to go back to the beginning and reflect on and remember, like, how much my life truly has changed. I'm kind of a sap, so I might get teary, but when I very first started with Beachbody and coaching, I had watched this girl on Facebook, and really Instagram wasn't even that big of a thing then, so probably all on Facebook, but I had watched her for like a year and rolled my eyes, like hard rolled my eyes, because what is this chick even doing? Like, this is so stupid, right? Maybe some of you even felt that way. I don't know. But then there was this point where I was a new mom. My husband was in the military and he deployed. I was working full-time as a nurse, and I had an eating disorder. And it wasn't just like, by the way, ignore my fingernails. I've been picking my polish off. It wasn't just like, struggling with food. It was 11 years worth of eating and throwing up every single day, even through my pregnancy. And after my baby was born, if any of you are moms, like, like, your body just is insanely different after you push out that precious little watermelon. And the habits just came right back. And I remember, like, crying on the bathroom floor and holding Cooper and just looking at him and thinking, like, this cannot be my life. I cannot live like this. Like, I'm a mom. I have to be strong and confident and healthy for him, and here, like, physically here. Like, all I could think was, I'm doing so much harm to my body. What if I kill myself at 35 because of what I'm doing, right? So there was just this moment where I had to make a change. And Beachbody, I don't think just came into my life. I think it was a gift that was given to me. And it 100% helped me change everything. And when I decided to start, I decided to become a coach and start on my journey at the same time, which is, a little bit different from Krista. She was a challenger first, and then she became a coach. So no matter how you're sitting here on this call tonight, whether you're, just deciding whether you want to get started or whether you've been in a challenge group and you're trying to decide whether you want to coach or not, like either way, this can work for you. But for me, I started both at the same time, and I just jumped in with both feet because I knew that I had to change for myself. And I think that coaching gave me that extra accountability to create so much change in my life. Like, I didn't know how to help anybody. I had an eating disorder, right? I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to teach somebody else how to be healthy. I didn't know how to work out. I didn't know how to be consistent. I just knew that I had drawn a line in the sand and I was going to change. And coaching, number one, was going to help me with extra accountability. And number two, bring me home from my job. Like I said, my husband was deployed. I was working as a nurse. By the time I would get home, like the babysitter would have Cooper bathed and ready for bed. And I was like, does he even know he has parents? Like, he doesn't even know what Nick looks like. And then I come home and kiss him goodnight. So for me, it was twofold, but I do remember just having that genuine fear and hesitation that nobody would take me seriously because of the struggles that I had. But what I figured out and what I learned over time was that my journey, taking people through the day-to-day of like, I had pizza for dinner, or I didn't want to work out, but I did it, or even I skipped my workout, but I'm getting back up today because it's a new day. Like, the realness of it is what ultimately inspired people and helped me help them. Because, there are tons of people on social media today that, especially on Instagram, that will show you a picture perfect life. Like, how many of you follow people on Instagram and their feeds are freaking gorgeous? And you're just like, for me, I think about that HGTV quote that's like, budget $1 billion. The mom sharpens pencils and the dad is like a butterfly catcher, right? Like, what do you do, right? Do y'all ever think that? There's so much out there that looks perfect. But when we can bring to people the reality of the struggles, the reality of living healthy and trying to just be a better person every single day, it's almost like exactly what Krista said at the beginning. You're doing what a coach does. You give people hope. You help them see that it's not about perfection, that it's about progress, and it's about, committing to yourself and just deciding that I'm going to try really hard to do really good for me, and in the process share my journey so that I can inspire another woman or family or man or like whatever. It doesn't have to just be women, but inspire other people to want to create a change in their life too. And I honestly think that that's what has helped me see success in this, because like I said in the beginning, I didn't have a clue. I was putting together Pinterest workouts, and they were failing miserably. And, eating like, oh, well, it says low fat ranch dressing, so that must be good for me. Or, whatever junk, right? Like, I knew nothing. All I knew was that here was this thing that was going to teach me, and I was going to share about it. And that started the process. So I am tasked tonight with closing us out. But before we do that, does anybody on here have questions about anything we've talked about, or anything we haven't talked about, anything you want to hear us kind of chat about or answer your questions before we kind of go into this last little bit and get y'all out of here, because we respect your time? You can type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourselves. No? Okay. So here's the deal. You've heard from 4 of us, all different kind of starting places. A couple were coaches from day one, and a couple were challengers before they were coaches. But I think ultimately the common ground is that we wanted to change ourselves. We needed to create change in our lives. We wanted to help other people do that, whether it started out as extra accountability or it started out as coming home from our jobs or a little bit of both. But at the end of the day, there is no mold to coaching. Like, we all look different. We all have different stories. We all have different journeys. But like Krista said at the very beginning, we are Team Beachbody. The 2 of us are on different teams. We work really closely together. But once you're a coach, like, you're going to be surrounded by such an incredible community. You're going to have all of the resources that you need. We didn't really address this objection, but that was one other thing that I thought about in the very beginning was like, how am I going to know what to do? You will be surrounded. You will know what to do. You're going to get a welcome email. You're going to have the training that you need. You're going to have the resources. You're going to be able to ask your questions. You're going to be surrounded. You're not going to be thrown out to the wolves. So, put that hesitation to rest. But tonight hopefully was about, we wanted to share our stories. We wanted to help you guys sort of get some different perspectives, hear how we all had different objections, because we all have hesitations that sort of hold us back a little bit in the beginning. But at the end of the day, we're here to help people. We're here to create change in our lives, show other people how to do that too. And it's so rewarding when, like Madeline said, when you get that text from somebody that's like, I've lost 3 pounds, or I wanted to do my workout today, or I chose grilled chicken over chicken fingers at the restaurant, or like whatever it is. And you know what? I wrote down, but I forgot to say it. At the very beginning, Krista said, when she was sort of opening up, she didn't say, this is about losing weight or looking a certain way or whatever. The words she used were, this is about getting healthy. This is about a healthy lifestyle and being on your journey. Like, you guys, let that sink in. Being healthy, living the lifestyle, and being on your journey. And then showing other people how to do that too. What better job in the world could there be? Even if you consider it a side hustle, like, doesn't mean you have to want to leave your job, but what better side hustle could there be than to be that for people? So what we want you to do is, depending on who you joined this call with, when we hang up, send them a message. If you are a current challenger, then you already have your program. You're already probably using Shakeology. You're already on your journey. You're already in the thick of it. So the next step for you is really simple. It is signing up as a coach. You'll pay $40. If you signed up with a challenge pack, you get that $40 back, and it's a wash. If you are brand new, you're on this call because you're trying to figure out what this is all about, then you and your coach together will pick the path that's best for you. When you sign up as a coach from the get-go, that $40 fee, it's waived. So you don't have to worry about that. There's no reimbursement. You just don't even have to worry about it. So when we're done, message your coach, let her know kind of what you're thinking. If you have any lingering questions, you can go ahead and type them in the chat, because we'd love to actually answer them live. But so those are the 2 options. You're either already a challenger and you can sign up for $40, or you're brand new and you and your coach are going to pick your path to get you started on the journey that's the best for you. And we want to offer something really amazing. You heard Madeline, and I think somebody else talked about personal development. Once you're a coach, I mentioned there's training, there's a welcome email, there's all this stuff, right? There are things that we do every single day as coaches to grow in our own journey and to grow our businesses. One of those things is personal development. That simply means that for 10 to 15 minutes a day, you are working on this right here, because your mindset is everything. You have to get to you have to work on positivity and feeding yourself the belief that you can do this, right? So personal development is something that we do as coaches every single day. That being said, for anybody who joins either Krista's team and Kate's team or mine and Madeline's team by tomorrow at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so 12 noon, we're going to send you this book. It is called Mastering Your Mean Girl, and I just started it today. Y'all, it is so good. I say that like I've read the whole thing, but like what I've read, it is so good. Because how many times do you look in the mirror and that voice inside your head says something negative to you? Or maybe you're sitting here thinking, well, that's good for y'all, but I can't do what you do. That's your mean girl talking. And she needs to be silenced. And that's what we're going to do in this book. Okay? So 12 noon tomorrow, you will get this book. You will get an incredible team. You will get so much community, so much positivity, so much support in your life. You won't even know what to do with it. And you're going to love every second of it. Krista, got anything else?
I don't think I could possibly say like one word after that. Silence that mean girl. I loved it. That was awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us. That was amazing. Like I said, we did record this. So if there are no other questions, we will call it a night. And we will get the recording out to you guys shortly. But this is something we do on every team call to celebrate kind of community and coming together as one. So get in for your first picture, team picture, sweaty selfie. This isn't a sweaty selfie, but if you follow us, you know we love sweaty selfies too. But get in here for a picture. We've got babes in here, little kids, because that's how we roll. So 1, 2. You ready, Morgan?
Yeah. Sorry.
1, 2, 3. And we hope to see you all over on our team pages tomorrow. So bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.